Hi, guys. Good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be discussing my thoughts and reaction to the much highly anticipated, finally arrived The Walking Dead Season 9 premiere. I just got done watching it a few minutes ago. My goodness, what an episode. What an episode indeed. There's a lot to talk about, and I have to talk about way too much and talk too long. So before I begin, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled episode review. If you're not caught up on The Walking Dead by the Season 8 finale, or if you haven't seen this episode, do not keep watching or listening, as I will be going into giant spoilers and big plot details. There's a lot to cover in tonight's video, and I'm going to try not to skip over anything, but you have been warned. If you're not caught up on The Walking Dead, don't keep watching and listening. And if you are, please keep watching and listening. All right, that being said, spoilers starting here on out, starting now. What an episode. What an episode indeed. Very, very good. You know what? I feel like the tone reminded me of like my favorite season, which was season 4, the way season 4 began. The conclusion of a bloody conflict, of a war, and now living with former adversaries as neighbors and allies, and they're trying to rebuild, and there's been a significant time jump. And I loved how the overall tone of the episode felt like the tone that's made those earlier seasons so damn good is, well developed. Like, this is why I love the show so much. How did I put it? Oh yeah, complex characters and appalling situations, and I feel like that's exactly what this episode delivered, and I really ate it up. I really, really enjoyed it. I love seeing them go on a supply run for the first time as a long time with this newly formed group of all the different allies, people from all of the communities. New relationships were formed, Carol and Ezekiel, which was kind of cute, although it means one of them is probably gonna die this season, but well, we'll worry about that if that happens. And then, we saw how the world is really degrading, like decaying, falling apart. Not just the walkers, but the buildings infrastructure around it. And they've already planted seeds for tension and conflict between characters and between the communities. Obviously, Maggie and Rick are already clashing over leadership responsibilities or ideals, and there's already a food shortage problem at the sanctuary. Their crops are dying, or they're taking forever to grow. The Hilltop wants the Saviors to build their share of the bridge for them because they feel like they don't really owe them anything, at least in Maggie's eyes, and she's got a pretty strong point. So there was these little snippets of tension and conflict being planted throughout this episode, like these seeds of tension and character conflict being spread throughout this episode, just setting us up for what I'm sure is going to be another great season. And I really enjoyed it. Oh my god, one of the highlights, and it was so nasty but so creative too, was the walker that almost got Sadiq when it grabs him, pulls him down, and the eyes and mouth are eaten away and hollowed out, and there's a bunch of goddamn spiders that come pouring out with a big fucking tarantula crawling off the side of the cheek. Oh, that was nasty, but so awesome too. I love how I was both repulsed and wowed by it. If that's the best way I can describe it. But oh, that was so good. And I loved how, we got a little backstory with Anne. It sounds like she was some kind of school teacher at one point. And I also loved after Gabriel killed that walker and it ended up slanting on that evolution of Manwall. I thought that was pretty clever and pretty damn funny, and a good humorous visual gag of evolution, so to speak. Like I said, this episode really showed us where our characters have come since the conclusion of the war, how things have changed between people, and yet some people never change. Gregory! As soon as he gave that speech for that poor boy's funeral, I thought, he's not doing this out of the goodness of his heart. This bastard is up to something. And sure enough, that motherfucker tried to have Maggie murdered. Oh, man. I'm like, how much longer are they going to keep this asshole around for? Well, fortunately, they got rid of him. Yeah, you know what? People have been saying for a while, why don't they just kill Gregory or Maggie, get rid of him? Well, they finally did. It seems like they're listening to the fans, and one of the things they're doing is killed a weak link, the weak link being character. Not that he wasn't a good character. He was a great slime ball. But he was just a weak link for our characters, and now he's finally gone. But this also kind of changes the dynamic of Hilltop and the dynamic between Michonne, Rick, and Maggie going forward, because Michonne is already inspired by that wall about the colonies coming together at the museum, about creating a charter between all of their communities. But it's going to be hard to do that, especially right off of the bat, right off of hanging a man for attempted murder. So how is that news going to ripple throughout the other communities? And then like I said, we already saw tension between a former savior and Daryl at the sanctuary. He's like, clean that up. He's like, how? He's like, figure it out. This like kind of smart ass repertoire going between them. It was pretty tense. So just because everybody's living peacefully together for the most part doesn't mean they're all getting along, which is what sets the stage for an awesome season and more awesome storytelling. I thought it was pretty cool and exciting how the wagon got stuck in the mud and then they were attacked by that walker herd. And that poor kid, Ken, oh, bless his heart, going back for the horse and then getting bit in the process, and then the horse kicking him right in the chest too. Oh, that poor bastard. But it's a season premiere, so somebody had to die. And of course, it wasn't going to be anybody we're invested in yet, but I'm sure, that's coming, and it's closer than we realize. But oh, what a season opening. I felt like the show was returning to its roots in terms of tone and storytelling, character relationships, and character and group dynamic. Oh, and it was written by the new showrunner, Angela Kang. She wrote the script, and Nick Otero directed this episode. Both of them did a great job. This was a great script. I think this season is getting off to an excellent start, and I am so, so excited for what's to come. Second episode looks exciting, too, from the promos that I've seen, and I'm just overall really pumped for what we've got in store. So, what did you guys think of the season premiere? Did you like it, love it? Did you blow it? Did it blow your mind? Were you meh? Were you disappointed? Were you satisfied? Please feel free to leave your thoughts, opinions, and your feedback down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel as we continue along the Season 9 journey of The Walking Dead, airing new episodes every Sunday night on AMC. Have a wonderful rest of the night, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.